You're losing the war right now, and you don't even know it's happening. There's a war for attention happening in real time, not between companies you know, between companies fighting for one resource, the finite attention span of human beings. There are only 24 hours in a day. Your customer has maybe 3 to 5 hours of discretionary attention. Hundreds of companies are fighting for those 3 to 5 hours. The winners of the next decade will not be the companies with the best product. They'll be the companies that understand attention economics and can capture, keep, and monetize human attention better than anyone else. This is not metaphorical. This is literal. This is happening right now, and most founders don't understand the rules of the game they're playing. Today's guest has built a $30M company by winning the attention war, and what she's learned will reshape how you think about your business. Sophie, welcome to Scale Up Stories.
Thank you for having me. And I want to start with something fundamental. Attention is now the primary currency of the economy.
What do you mean by that?
Money used to be the currency. How much money can you make? That was the question. Now attention is the currency. How much attention can you capture? That's the real question. Because once you have attention, you can monetize it any way you want. Ads, premium features, direct sales, sponsorships. But if you don't have attention, you have nothing to monetize. Think about the most valuable companies in the world. Google, Meta, TikTok, Amazon. They're not valuable because of their products. They're valuable because of the attention they've captured.
So companies are fighting for attention?
Not fighting. At war. It's not a small competition. It's a full-scale war for a finite resource. Your customer has maybe 1,000 hours of discretionary time per year. More realistically, your customer has maybe 100 hours of attention to spend on your category per year. Now multiply that by the number of companies in your category. If there are 10 companies competing, each can have maybe 10 hours of customer attention per year. That's 48 minutes per month. That's the average.
That's nothing.
It's everything. Because in those 48 minutes, you have to deliver so much value that the customer chooses you over the 9 other options. You have to make your product so good that every second of their attention is repaid with value.
How does a company do that?
By being radically better at capturing and keeping attention than everyone else. You can't do it through mediocre products or marketing. You have to be excellent at both. And you have to understand the psychology of attention and how to leverage it. That's what separates winners from losers in the attention economy.
Let's talk about where attention actually goes.
Attention flows to where the leverage is. If something gives you a disproportionate return for your attention, you give it attention. Social media gives you a disproportionate return for your attention. You scroll for 30 minutes and you get entertained. That's leverage. So we spend hours on social media. Work gives you a disproportionate return. You work for 8 hours and you get paid. That's leverage. So we spend time at work. Most products don't give you disproportionate leverage. So, you don't spend attention on them.
How do you change that?
You increase the return on attention. Make the product so valuable that every minute someone spends on it is repaid with value. That's the only way to win the attention war.
Give me an example.
TikTok versus YouTube. Both are fighting for video attention. YouTube requires you to find a creator you like, then watch long-form content. TikTok gives you infinite, short-form content, specifically tuned to your preferences. The lever is immediate gratification and infinite discovery. TikTok wins because they've optimized for maximum leverage.
But is that good design or addiction?
Both. And that's the uncomfortable truth about the attention war. The companies winning are those who understand psychology and can use it to capture attention.
Technology must play a huge role.
Huge. The companies with the best technology for capturing and keeping attention win. AI is playing an increasingly important role. Recommendation algorithms, personalization, predictive behavior modeling. Companies using AI to understand customer attention patterns will beat companies that don't.
How does that work?
AI can predict what content will capture your attention, what product features you'll engage with, what timing will make you most receptive. Once you have those predictions, you can design the experience to maximize engagement. Netflix uses AI to recommend movies you're likely to watch. Spotify creates playlists that keep you listening. Email marketers use AI to predict when you're most likely to open an email and what subject lines you'll click. All of this is attention optimization through technology.
Is that manipulation?
It's optimization. You're optimizing for what the user wants, not just what the company wants. The best companies do both optimize for user attention in a way that also benefits the company. The worst companies optimize purely for engagement at the expense of user value. That's when products become addictive and destructive.
How do you tell the difference?
Ask, am I delivering more value per unit of attention? Or am I hijacking attention for profit? If it's the first, you're winning the right way. If it's the second, you're winning the wrong way. The short-term wrong way might work, but eventually people realize they're being manipulated and leave. The long-term right way is to deliver genuine value your customers stick around. You build a durable business.
Earlier, we talked about distribution. Is distribution really just attention?
Completely. Distribution is how you capture attention at scale. If you have a great product but nobody knows about it, you have zero attention. If you have a bad product but everyone knows about it, you have a ton of attention, which you'll eventually lose.
How do you get great distribution?
3 ways: owned channels, earned channels, and paid channels. Owned channels are your email list, community, direct relationships. Earned channels are press, word of mouth, organic discovery. Paid channels are ads, partnerships, sponsorships. The best companies build owned channels first. Owned channels are attention you own, not attention you rent.
How much owned attention do you need?
Depends on the company, but at least 1% of your customer base should be actively engaged in owned channels. If you have 100,000 customers, you need at least 1,000 inches your email list, community, or direct relationships. That's your foundation.
A lot of companies are betting on content to win the attention war.
They are, and most of them are losing because they don't understand why content works. Content doesn't work because it's content. It works because it captures attention. Most companies create mediocre content blogs nobody reads, videos that put people to sleep.
What makes content good enough to win?
3 things. It has to be useful, entertaining, and surprising. Useful means it solves a problem or teaches something. Entertaining means it's enjoyable. Surprising means it's new, either a unique perspective, new data, or a counterintuitive insight. Most content fails on all 3. It's boring, useless, and expected.
How do you make content that wins?
You obsess over the audience. Create content about your customer's problem, not your solution. If you're selling project management software, create content about how to manage projects better, not just about your software. When you do that, you capture attention because you're solving something people care about.
Does the product matter?
Once you have attention, yes. If the product is bad, you'll lose the attention when people try it. But if the product is good, content creates a virtuous cycle. Content captures attention, product delivers value, customers become advocates.
Capturing attention is one thing. Keeping it is another.
Keeping attention is actually harder than capturing it. Attention has velocity it wants to move. Most companies capture attention, then lose it because the product doesn't deliver ongoing value. The winners are the ones who deliver continuous value. Every interaction should deliver something worthwhile.
How do you measure that?
You measure engagement and satisfaction. Engagement is about whether people are returning, how often, and for how long. Satisfaction is whether they're getting value. Would they recommend you pay for premium or leave if a competitor offered something better? You want both. Engagement without satisfaction means you're tricking people. Satisfaction without engagement means you aren't capturing enough attention.
What's the balance?
There's no formula, but generally you want people coming back regularly and using the product more over time. If they use it once and never return, you've failed. If they use it every day and love it, you've won.
How do you maintain that?
By continuously improving the product, adding new features, and listening to customer feedback. The moment you stop improving is when you start losing attention. Retention requires constant investment.
How did you build your company with attention economics as the foundation?
We started by obsessing over our customer's problem. We spent months understanding what they cared about, what they spent attention on, and why. We did interviews, observed behavior, and analyzed product usage. Then, we built a product specifically designed to capture and keep that attention.
What did you learn?
That attention is incredibly valuable when you have it, and incredibly hard to get. We spent our first year with almost no attention. We had a good product, but that wasn't enough. Then, we published a piece of content that went viral. It captured attention, got thousands of shares, and tens of thousands of views. Suddenly, we had attention, and everything else became easier growth, sales, fundraising. Once you have people's attention, you can do almost anything with it.
How did the viral content happen?
We created something useful, entertaining, and surprising. We wrote about our customer's problem in a way nobody else was. We had original insights and unique data. When people saw it, they shared it because it captured their attention and they thought others would benefit.
How do you maintain that attention?
By continuously creating content and products that deserve attention. It's not a one-time thing. We publish something valuable every week, update our product every month, and always give our audience reasons to pay attention. Consistency keeps their loyalty and advocacy.
Where is the attention economy going?
It's becoming more fragmented, more platforms, more content, more competition. But the rules remain. Companies that understand attention capture and retention will win. Companies that don't will lose.
Will AI change this?
Completely. AI will make attention capture easier for some companies and harder for others. Those who use AI to deliver more value per unit of attention will win massively. Those who use AI to manipulate attention will eventually lose as people become savvier.
What should founders do now?
Start by understanding your customer's attention. Where is it? Why is it there? Then build a product designed to capture and keep that attention. The winning founders build products that are intrinsically attention-worthy.
Rapid fire?
Ready.
Most valuable attention to capture?
Customer attention, because you can build a business on it.
Easiest attention to lose?
Attention you capture through ads. It has no loyalty.
Best platform for winning attention?
Whatever platform your customer is already on, not a new platform.
Can you win with bad content?
Not long-term. You can trick people once, but they won't come back.
How much attention is enough?
Enough to build a business. That's usually 20% of your market.
Will attention economics ever change?
No. Humans have finite attention. That's forever. So attention will always be the currency.
Is there a dark side to this?
Yes. The attention economy creates winners and losers very quickly. Winners get massive attention and can do anything. Losers get no attention and can't survive. There's no middle ground. It's very binary.
How do you deal with that?
You either win or you adapt. If you can't capture attention in your category, you change categories or pivot your product. Staying where you can't win is a waste of time.
Is that healthy for innovation?
Not always. Sometimes the best ideas lose because they can't capture enough attention. The market rewards attention capture, not always the best product.
How do you fix that?
By understanding that winning requires both a good product and attention capture. The best founders are great at both.
Sophie, close us out. What should every founder understand about the attention war?
The most important thing is to understand that you're not competing on product anymore. You're competing on attention. Two companies with similar products will have very different outcomes based on who can capture and keep attention better.
How do you win?
By obsessing over your customers' attention, understanding what they care about, creating products and content that deliver value. Then scale that, do the same thing for more customers.
What's the biggest mistake founders make?
Building a product and hoping they can distribute it later. No, you have to think about attention from day one. How will I capture it? How will I keep it? How will I scale it? Those questions should drive your product decisions.
Sophie, thank you for showing us the reality of the attention war.
Thank you for asking. Founders need to wake up to this. The war has already started. If you're not thinking about attention, you're already losing.
Everyone listening, the attention war is real, and it's already started. Think about your business as an attention capture and retention engine. That's the game. The products and services are just the vehicles for capturing and keeping attention. That's episode 32 of Scale Up Stories. I'm Sakil. The attention war has already started. Scale Up Stories is independent. No sponsors, no gatekeeping. Just founders talking about what works. If this episode changed how you think about your business, share it with one founder still thinking product first. Subscribe wherever you listen. Leave a review. Links to Sophie's work are in the show notes. Until next time, win the attention war. Everything else follows.